Hi, I'm Chuck Dorsett for Weaver Leather Supply, and this is the Leather Element. If you've got a good question for us or a good idea for a leather element, drop it in the comment box below. Also, if you want to know when our videos release, just click your notifications. You'll know exactly when these come out. So we get a lot of questions on the wooden strap cutter. I'm going to see if I can help here, because to me, this is about the most useful tool in my shop, or at least one of 5 or 6. Best part, the cost-use ratio is the best in my shop. So let's see if we can answer some questions. Let's start with our most common question, because we get this all the time. Can we strap lighter weight leathers? Well, it's a yes and no answer, because what we need is a little body. So 4 to 5 ounce and up on the veg tan, no issue. Ample body there. But let's say we jump down to a 2 to 3 ounce veg tan. Pretty soft. In fact, this makes a great liner. So let's see if we can strap this. Yeah, it's not working very well. Okay, how about a trick? Let's step over to a brand new blade and see what happens. No problem there, okay? Our fire veg. Now this is a veg tan. It's got a little body, but it's a little supple as well. Yeah, no issue strapping that. Well, let's go all the way. This is our cypress. This is a very supple leather. The tool is simply not designed to strap leather like this, but let's see if we can do it. It's just not going to work through there. Okay, so here's a cool little trick. So I can see where my blade started to cut. So let's flip this around, and what I'd like to do is go just a little further than the width of this arm so that we have something to grab onto. There we go. That was a little further than we needed, but something in there. So let's see if we can feed this through. Good. Actually, we strapped that pretty nicely, but again, the tool is just not designed for this type of leather. So on our upholstery weights, this is our vintage cowboy, love it. Our suede, our deer tan cow, there are better routes to go on those. Here's one that tripped me up in the beginning, and I've talked to a few people that have had the same problem. It's an easy fix. And in fact, when we see it, we're going to think, wow, I should have figured that out. Or at least that's what I thought. So whether you've got the strap cutter with the blade guard or not, same tool. They work exactly the same way. So let's change out a blade. We're going to start right here. Let's take our cross arm out. Okay. Right here, we've got 2 screws. Let's unscrew those. Release that blade. Good, we've got that. Now on our blades, that's the correct strap cutter blade. I see this in a strap cutter from time to time. That's actually the skiver blade, and it's a real problem, because when we lock that in, we're going to have sharp blade on either side. That's going to cut us, and it's going to tear up our project. So let's make sure we go with a correct blade. So on this, I can see where my cutting edge is. I want that cutting edge towards my measurements. So let's put that in one of our slots, and I'm just going to put my finger right there. Let's be careful, because these are sharp. So let's put that. I can feel it sit down with my finger. Let's tighten that. Okay, other side, same thing. And I'm going to set this about right here. We're going to talk about the width on this. In fact, I rarely use that. Okay, good. So now when we put this into our strap cutter, notice right here, we've got a flat edge and we've got a cut there. We want our blade on that side, on the side of the cut. But let's do this wrong, because this will show us what problem we're having. So we come in from the wrong side. Let's put that at about 3/4 of an inch, tighten that down. So now when we go to strap, it's not going through the strapper. This made me crazy to begin with. Well, here's the problem. Right there, as opposed to having that cut that'll push that leather out, that leather is stopping right on that. That will make us nuts. So let's make sure we get that on the right side. Here's a tip that helps me out all the time for our strap cutter. We need a straight edge in our leather. We certainly don't have that here. Now, we could drop in a straight edge, get that as close as we can, and then cut a straight edge into that. Well, that is a very uncomfortable position to me. A little bit dangerous as well. I like to cut from this side. So let's do this. Let's just say we're cutting 1-inch straps. I know my straight edge is 2 inches. So let's do our best to come in just a bit inside the blemishes. And we've got our straight edge. Okay, let's flip this piece back around. Let's strap our 2-inch straps out of this. Then we've got a straight edge to work with all the way across. Now, one big point. As we work further, if we're going to strap a larger piece, say something like a bend or a double bend, as we strap, what's going to happen is those straps are going to start to bow as we move across the leather. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to cut maybe 6 or 8, then cut a new straight edge and work from there. Also, right here on our strap cutter, we've got a small set screw on this end. That's to open that up to make that more parallel. Well, that really only comes into play if we're cutting a much wider strap. This will strap all the way up to 4 inches, and it absolutely will. But typically I'm cutting 1.5 inch or less. So down here, I'll just open that up or close it a little bit simply with my fingers and not really worry about that. But again, if we're cutting wider straps, let's absolutely use this screw to make that cut as parallel as possible. Now, one more point right there. Notice how fuzzy that edge is. All that is, our blade is dull and it needs to be replaced. I hope this answers some questions, because this is one of about 6 tools that I cannot do without. The funniest thing, that's the cheapest of the 6. But if we want to strap thicker leather, jump up to our draw gauge. This is a beautiful quality tool. But for the rest of us, this is going to last years and years, and it will be a huge help in our shop. I hope this is good information for you. Thanks for taking time to watch The Leather Element. Good luck with your projects.